All right, we've got our 49ers roster update. They've made their 2 practice squad elevations for this game against the Eagles, and they are the veteran safety who they just signed this week, Erik Harris, 33-year-old. He's going to be playing a lot of special teams for the 49ers, over 1,500 career snaps on special teams for Erik Harris, who obviously is going to be called on to replace George Odom, tore his biceps muscle. Odom hopes to actually be back this season, but that's 2 months from now. He had surgery this week. It went well. 2 months from now, that means right around the NFC Championship game. Of course, the 49ers have to make it that far. Might become easier to make it that far if they beat Philadelphia tomorrow. The other elevation for the 49ers is the veteran wide receiver, Chris Conley. So they're going with experience on the wrong side of 30 in both of their practice squad call-ups. Remember, during the COVID year, it was determined that the practice squad didn't just have to be young guys. You could put veterans on the practice squad. And the 49ers have taken full advantage of that. Erik Harris is 33. Chris Conley is 30. Conley actually received Scout Team Player of the Week recognition. I'm guessing that he emulated either A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith, or both of them in practice this week. He was one of the 49ers Scout Team Players of the Week. So was the linebacker, Jalen Graham. Remember that Philadelphia is going to be missing Zach Cunningham, their top linebacker. So the 49ers are going to be trying to really pick on that linebacker level for Philadelphia, which has struggled in pass coverage. So the 49ers like the work that the rookie out of Purdue, Jalen Graham, did in practice. And the final Scout Team Player of the Week was Sam Darnold. Darnold, his task was to emulate Jalen Hurts. And we know that Sam Darnold is an athletic quarterback. It's a good guy to have on the scout team for jobs like that. Of course, he's not going to be exactly Jalen Hurts. There's only one Jalen Hurts in the league. He's a really good player. But Sam Darnold physically, I think, is a good substitute in there, as good as you can get on a practice squad in the NFL. So it was Darnold, it was Conley, and it was Jalen Graham who won those Scout Team Player of the Week honors. Conley and the three and Erik Harris, who's on your screen right here. So Conley and Harris are both on the practice squad, and they've both received temporary elevations from the 49ers. This is the 49ers Eagles matchup preview. It is in the description, so go ahead and subscribe to The Athletic. Check it out whenever you do have a chance. We're also going to look at the 49ers 90-man roster here to help you visualize what their personnel is going to look like against the Philadelphia Eagles. The article, that is in the description. Go ahead and check it out. Now I'm getting the depth chart ready for you, given this news today. Here you go with that depth chart. It is now up on the screen. So what do we got? We're going to have to make updates over last week as well. I have new acquisitions listed in or shaded in teal. So Erik Harris is shaded in teal. I have temporary elevations in green. So that was the center, Corey Luciano, over the past couple of weeks. By the way, there is a maximum of 2 practice squad activations per year. So the 49ers have used both of them on Luciano. They needed some more interior offensive line help. They no longer need that. We can take Aaron Banks off of the injury report. We can take Spencer Burford off of the injury report. The players who are questionable are Eric Armstead, so I'll shade him in pink, although he told me this week that he is going to play. Ray McLeod is also questionable, so we'll put him in that shade. And who else was questionable? There was one more player. Trying to think who it was for the 49ers. Jordan Mason with the hamstring. All 3 of these guys got out to practice on Friday. I think McLeod and Mason might be bigger questions than Armstead, just because we didn't hear from them, but we've heard from Armstead that he does indeed plan on playing through that foot injury, which is not the same foot as the one that gave him trouble last year. All right, anyway, temporary elevations. That's Erik Harris, who is down here in teal. Well, we're going to have to shade him in green for the time being because he's a temporary elevation. And Chris Conley, the veteran wide receiver. Speedster, also a good blocker, which is important for the 49ers in case he does have to play some offense. But I'll tell you what, Harris and Conley, who are now both there listed in green, both of these guys, the 49ers need them for special teams in this game. 49ers special teams is ranked number 27 out of 32 teams in DVOA. The Eagles are top 5. The 49ers have statistical advantages on offense And I think on defense, because their defense, even though Philly's offense has been playing at a top 5 level, 49ers defense has been at a top 3 level over the past 3 weeks. So on paper, offense and defense, the 49ers are fine. Special teams, again, for the second straight week, the 49ers need to be on high alert because they're facing a good opposing special teams unit in the Eagles. And the 49ers have lost George Odom, who was the NFL's leading tackler in special teams over the course of the past 2 years. So 2 situations, potentially rainy game where, plus injuries where you have the 49ers at a disadvantage on special teams. Now they've called up Robert Beal, who might be able to help them on special teams. And obviously, Jair Brown had already been playing special teams. Now he's a starter. But the other young defensive back, Darrell Luter Jr., made a good tackle against the Seattle Seahawks. So the replenishments have been coming on that side of the ball. But the 49ers still need more veteran leadership there, and they just need more bodies, period. And 2 of those bodies are going to be Erik Harris, who I mentioned has about 1,580 career snaps on special teams, and Chris Conley, who can move. He's always been a speed demon type of receiver, and he also has some strength out in the open field. Kyle Shanahan has loved him as a blocker. Well, guess what? Both of those skill sets can translate to the special teams aspect. So expect both of those guys to be involved in a very crucial phase of the game that we should not forget about against the Philadelphia Eagles. Looking up and down the roster for the 49ers, healthy at QB, not fully healthy at running back. We'll see if Jordan Mason plays. If not, it'll be a Ty Davis Price game. He can be active for the 49ers instead. I talk about special teams. Well, if they're down Ray McLeod, he's got the rib injury. He practiced on Friday, but there's a chance they're down Ray McLeod. That could be another big loss for a special teams unit that's been leaking a little bit of oil. So we have to keep an eye out on his potential availability and his health tomorrow. Tight end situation, Jalen Graham impressed the 49ers this week. That was all good stuff for the 49ers. You've got the sorry, why am I saying linebacker Jalen Graham impressed the 49ers. I was looking at Braden Willis, and for some reason, I immediately thought down to Jalen Graham. But no, Jalen Graham is down here along with D. Winters. Tight end position, that's been doing fine. I think the Eagles are really bad against defending tight ends. Number 32 DVOA this season. And George Kittle might be set up for a big game because of that. Offensive linemen off the injury report. 49ers now have 9 O-linemen on the 53-man roster. That includes the new pickup from Jacksonville, Ben Barch. 49ers signed him off the Jaguars practice squad. And I do think that you're going to see a Feliciano Burford platoon at right guard. Right now, Feliciano is the primary left guard backup, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a platoon there at right guard with the second-year player out of San Antonio, so we'll keep our eye on that. Armstead's health, well, the foot has been bothering him, but he has said that he plans to play. Linebackers, defensive backs, healthy across the board. So there's your 49ers roster update heading into Philadelphia. Stay tuned. The prediction with Lombardi herself is coming up.